So real talk, you're playing a game right now. You have been since the second you were born. No tutorial, no character creation screen, no choosing your starting stats. The game just said, here you go, good luck, and dropped you in. And the craziest part? 8 billion people are playing it simultaneously. It's been running for 4.5 billion years, and not a single soul ever agreed to the terms and conditions. That game is life, and I'm about to show you just how badly the odds were stacked before you even open your eyes. So here's what gets me. In literally every game humans have ever designed, there's some baseline fairness built in. Even in the most brutal games, everyone starts at level 1. Everyone gets the same starting gear. The map is the same for everybody. But life said, nah, forget all that. Because in this game, your entire starting setup was decided by RNG. Pure luck, and you can't do a single thing about it. And look, if you're already thinking, but you can work hard and change a situation. Yeah, you can, but here's what I need you to consider first. When two players start a race, and one of them starts 5 miles ahead, telling the other one to just run faster isn't advice. That's just ignoring the problem. So let's actually look at the stats, because when you see them laid out like this, it hits different. And I promise you, by the time we hit stat 3, at least one person watching this is going to pause the video and just sit there for a second. First stat, wealth, your starting goal. Most people assume everyone starts at 0, right? Just go grind, may the best player win. That would actually be fair. But that's not what happens. Some people spawn into generational wealth, properties, investments, business connections passed down. They don't even touch the early game. They skip straight to the fun part. The game basically handed them a max level character before they could even go through the tutorial. But here's the crazier part nobody wants to talk about. Some people don't start at 0. They start negative, born with debt. Their family's financial situation is wrapped around them before they can even walk. And the game is already running and counting. And what's even more messed up? That gap doesn't close over time. It widens. Money makes more money, and debt charges you interest just for existing. There's no comeback mechanic. No balancing system that kicks in and says, hey, this isn't fair, let me even it out. So yeah, some people start with a mountain of gold, some people start in the hole, and the game just keeps going either way. But here's the thing about wealth, at least you can theoretically earn more of it. Grind hard enough, right place, right time, and the number can go up. The next step, you can't grind your way out of it. You can't hustle past it. It was decided the second you spawn, and it affects literally every single thing that comes after. Your spawn location, where you land when you first load in. In a well-designed game, harder zones give better rewards, right? Tough starting area, better loot. That's a fair trade-off. There's some balance. But this game? No trade-off. Some spawn points are just better. That's it. If you spawn in a stable, high-income country, the game basically plays itself in the early levels. Free education, healthcare, clean water, safety, your basic survival needs are handled so you can actually focus on leveling up, building your skills, a career, a life. But if you spawn somewhere with active conflict, a collapsed infrastructure, or extreme poverty, a massive chunk of your early game is just survival, not leveling up, not building anything. Just making it tomorrow is a difficulty on its own. Same game, but completely different map. And you can't just move to a better spawn point. There are actual systems built into this game. Borders, immigration laws, visa requirements, specifically designed to make it hard to leave bad zones. The people who need access to better resources are the ones with the hardest time getting there. You didn't pick your spawn, and the game makes damn sure it stays that way. Now wealth and location, those are the ones people expect to talk about. But the next stat, that's where it gets personal. And I mean personally personal. Your appearance, your character's physical ratings, big blue eyes, thick eyebrows, a sharp jawline, never-ending hair. Oh, how you wish it was you that had them. But no, all you can do is work with a wrist-wide forehead and a big nose. And guess what? This one is more rigged than people want to admit. Studies consistently show that attractive people earn more money, get promoted faster, are perceived as more trustworthy, more intelligent, more capable before they even said a single word. That's just how the game is coded. The world responds differently to a high appearance stat, and there's nothing you can do to fully override it. But here's when it gets more interesting. It's not just your face, it's your height as well. Taller people are more likely to be hired, more likely to be seen as leaders, more likely to be taken seriously in a room. And for dating, don't even get me started. You already know. Every guy watching this right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. And the really brutal part, appearance affects every other stat. If you have a high appearance stat, your wealth stat gets easier to build. Your social network grows faster. It's like someone handed you a key and said good luck to everyone else. And a low appearance stat, you're grinding the same game on a harder difficulty, and the game never once tells you what's happening. You didn't choose your face, you didn't choose your height. The game handed them to you and said, heh, good luck with that. And now, here's where it gets even more divided, because the next stat literally gives different players completely different rulebooks. And I'm talking about your gender. And I'm here just to read the patch notes honestly, because the reality is, male and female players are not playing the same version of this game. Same map, but completely different rule sets. Female players deal with a monthly HP loss with immense amount of pain they just have to push through. And physically, the base stats were just handed out differently. Same game, but one character model comes with a harder survival mode built in from the start. And here's what nobody talks about. Female players are also playing the game on a map that was literally designed by and for male players. The workplace, the legal system, the social structures built around one character type. The other one had to adapt to a world that wasn't built for them. That's not a minor inconvenience, that's a permanent passive debuff running in the background of every single interaction. Male players aren't off the hook either. You're expected to provide, to lead, to never crack under pressure. And if you do, good luck finding a space where that's okay to admit. And here's the stat that genuinely nobody is talking loud enough. Male loneliness is at an all-time high. More men than ever are going through the game completely alone. No support system, no community, no one checking in. The rulebook told them to be strong and self-sufficient, and then left them completely isolated inside that. Neither rulebook is fair, and neither player gets to choose their rulebook. It was assigned at spawn, before the game even started. Same game, different difficulty settings based on something you had zero say in. And all of this, everything we've talked about, feeds into the final stat. The one that wraps everything together, and honestly might be the darkest one of all. Your lifespan, how long you actually get to play. And this one's simple, but it hits hard. Your lifespan isn't equal across players. Where you spawn, what wealth you start with, what your appearance status, what gender you are, all of it quietly feeds into how long your run lasts. Some players get 80, 90 years, and others, through zero control of their own, get significantly less. And the game doesn't tell you your number. There's no timer in the corner of your screen. You just play, and at some point, the screen goes dark. No warning, no watching an ad to get 5 more years. It was part of the original stat roll, and it connects to every single stat we just talked about. So that's the full character sheet. And now the question you've been sitting on this entire time. Can you actually win in this game? Honestly, yes, some people do. There are players who spawn with almost nothing, a bad location, negative wealth, low appearance stats, a harder gender rulebook, and they've built something extraordinary. Those stories are real, and I'm not dismissing them. But here's what I need to be straight with you about. Those stories are exceptional by definition. That's literally what exceptional means. They're the exception. The game is structured to make your starting stats sticky, hard to escape. The higher your starting stats, the more likely you are to finish well. The lower your starting stats, the more energy just goes into surviving instead of actually living. And telling someone who spawned with bad stats across the board to just work harder, that's not motivation. That's just choosing not to look at the scoreboard honestly. You can change a situation. People do, but some people have to climb out of a hole first, and some people were out of the hole before they could even walk. That's not a personal fail. That's just the game design. And once you truly see it, you genuinely cannot unsee it. So where does that leave us? I'm not telling you this to make you feel hopeless, and I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty if you spawn with good stats. Remember, you didn't get to pick them either. I'm telling you this because the biggest lie this game sells you is that everyone is playing the same game and has a fair shot at everything. They're not. The starting goal is different, the map is different, the appearance stat is different, the rulebook is different, and pretending otherwise doesn't make it fair. It just makes it easier to ignore. The most unfair game every human has already played. That's life. And not a single person on this planet agreed to the terms before they were dropped in. If this hits different, and I think it did, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.